Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be painting something really special for the holidays. We're going to be painting a couple ornaments out of these wood blocks that you could pick up at any art store or home and garden store. So I picked these up from Lowe's for just $4. It came in a bag of a bunch of these wood blocks, and it also came with the string to put around them and later put on our tree. This is a great project where we can paint anything we want, but a lot of times we don't know what to paint. So I'm here to give you a couple of ideas to paint different items and pictures on these things. Today we're going to be painting this heart with a nice eucalyptus wreath around it and a nice Christmas tree with some lights. To get started with this project, I used a couple different acrylics, but you can use any paint that you have at home. I also used a gesso that I applied to these wood blocks, so you could see how this is wood here, and I applied a gesso just to give me a nice bright white vivid background to paint on. Certainly you could always paint just directly on the wood, but I do recommend getting some gesso and painting it on there. For this ornament I used an iridescent gold. I also used a red, a chromium oxide green. You can use any green. I also used a burnt umber for the background details right here. I also used a titanium white for this. So I just brightened up the chromium oxide on some of these petals of the eucalyptus. For this ornament, I used some different colors. I painted the background a different color here. Today I'm going to use this light ultramarine blue. I think it could look really cool. You could always change up the backgrounds on any of these ornaments that you like. I also used Jenkins green. You could use any green you'd like. And I also used a cadmium yellow just to give it some nice bright color on this tree. And then I also used just a bunch of different colors for the lights on the tree. So I used some orange, some yellow, blue, and red. And then for the star, I actually used some of this bright gold. I also used a bone black to give me some depth on the tree along with my Jenkins green. And I'll show you, when I mix those paints. The other thing I used was this Canson palette. It is nice. It's very smooth. It's for your acrylic paints. It's basically just a palette that you can throw away once you're done. And they come with these little sheets on here. So I like to put my paint out here and then I can just toss the paint when I'm done, because with these acrylic paints, they go bad after once they dry. So you can't reuse these. For my brushes, I used a couple different Princeton brushes right here. I used a flat wash brush to lay down my gesso paint and also my background color. And then I just used one brush to do all the details on this. So you don't need that many brushes for this. I just used a Princeton Heritage Round 2. And then you can get yourself some water and some paper towels for cleaning your brush in between. And once you get all these materials, you can get started. Now that you have your materials, we can get started on painting our ornaments. Like I said previously, I do recommend gessoing some of your ornaments if you're doing this on wood. So this will just come with some slight texture. It's pretty soft already, but I still wanted to give it a nice bright white background, so when I'm painting, the color really does show through. You certainly don't have to gesso it. These are just some fun ornaments that we're putting on our trees. You don't have to be that precise or crazy about it. We're just having fun. But I do recommend, if you have gesso, just give yourself a nice bright white background on this ornament. For my colors, I'm using these golden heavy body acrylics along with this one that's actually a fluid acrylic. This is the only fluid acrylic that I am using on this, and it's only because I had it in gold. So I'm just going to get started by doing my background. I like to use this gold because it just gives this nice Christmas holiday feeling. It shines, so when it's going to be hanging on the Christmas tree, it's going to have a nice reflection. So just get some of your gold paint. I am using a pretty thick flat brush for this. You could use any flat brush you have around your house. I just recommend you using one that doesn't have any bristles that are going to fall off on the paint. Okay, now once this is dry, we can move on by making the branches of the wreath. And to do that, I'm going to use a little bit of this burnt umber. I'm going to start by coming this way. The branches don't have to be perfect. They could just be like really fun and just anywhere you want. All right, once your branch is dry, we can move on by creating some of these nice eucalyptus leaves by using any of our greens. I'm going to use this chromium oxide green from Golden. Now I'm going to start by creating some of these darker leaves on the back side. So all you got to do is take some of your green. Start by creating some right here. You can go around your whole piece and be very random with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, now that this is dry, we can take our titanium white and we're going to mix it with some of this green to create some of the lighter shades of these eucalyptus leaves. I'll put a little bit of white right here, just a little bit of this green, and mix it up with this white. Start painting some of these leaves on top of our other ones. So they mimic like kind of the back side of, or the front side of this leaf. We could be really fun with it. All right, for our last step, we're going to be creating a little heart in the center, and we're going to do a couple of little dots around these just to show like berries. I know eucalyptus really doesn't have like berries, but it just makes it a little bit more festive and a little bit more colorful around the sides. Also, if you don't want to do a heart, you could do something else in the center. like you know, a date for the year. You could do like this year it's going to be 2023 for Christmas, so you know, you could do like a 23 right there, or you could do 2023. You could also do initials for someone special. You could also put them in the heart if you would like, but those are just a couple different options that you could put something in the center. You could also do something very Christmassy. You could do a little like Santa face on there. You could do a little reindeer antlers. But yeah, you could explore different options if you don't want to do a heart. For this, I am going to do a heart, so let's move on and create that heart. For this, I'm just using Peril. I don't know how to pronounce that. Peril red, or you could use a cadmium red if you have cadmium red. I'm just going to put a little bit right here. I don't need a lot. And I'm going to come in here. Now, if you are making a heart, we're going to want to make sure that it is in the center. So wherever the hole is, you're going to want to make sure that that heart is kind of centered. All right, guys, there we go. We just created our first ornament. I love how Christmassy this one is with the gold and the red along with the green leaves. It just really has a nice Christmas tone to it. It also has a really nice shiny feel with the gold. I can't wait to put this one on our tree. But before that, we're gonna finish our second one. So let's move on and create our second ornament now. All right, moving on to our second ornament, we're gonna just do a fun little Christmas tree. You could do any colored background for this. I did a nice green teal for this one. To do this one, I thought I'd switch it up and change the background color. I'm gonna do a light ultramarine blue. I thought it would look really nice with this green. I'm also gonna lighten it up even more by using some titanium white, and it'll just create more like a sky on this Christmas tree. But you can, like I said, you can change the color of this background and create a nice Christmas tree on it. Just gonna put a little bit of blue right here. Some titanium white. I'm going to brighten this up quite a bit. Again, I'm using this flat wash brush from Princeton, and it might be a little thick for this wood ornament, but it's what I had lying around right for now, so I just figured why not. All right, now that this background is dry, we can move on by creating the bones of our tree by using just a little bit of burnt umber. This might not show through, or it might, depending on the type of paint you have. But I also just think this is a good way of getting the skeleton down for the tree, so you know where to actually paint. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that burnt umber. I'm gonna start from the top, and I'm gonna make a straight line down. Now that we have the simple line work for our tree made out, these little branches and whatnot. We can move on by creating the dark shade, or the darkest shade of the tree. And by doing that, I'm going to use some Jenkins green. You can use any green that you have. I'll put a little bit here. I'm also going to add a little bit of bone black just to give it a deeper green color. Put just a tiny bit right there. I'll mix these up. To paint our Christmas tree, I'm going to start from the top and kind of work myself back and forth through these branches all the way down to the bottom. So just start with your green. And I'm gonna start like this. But then I'm gonna move this way. I'm just gonna dab my brush. Like so. Once you get a lot of the base of the tree done, you can come in and just do some tiny little details by using just a little bit of lines of that green. So it looks like more like the pine is poking out. A little bit more of a pokey pine. Not a porcupine, a pokey pine. Once we lay down the first part of our Christmas tree, we're going to create some of these highlights by using some of our Jenkins green or whatever green that you used. A little bit right here. And we're gonna add some cadmium yellow to this green to make it a lot more vivid and pine-like. So take some of your cadmium yellow. Just gonna take some of that green and bring it into this yellow color. We're just making it a nice lime, light yellow green color. Once you get a nice yellowish green color, we can come in here and start doing some of the highlights on the pine tree. Now that my tree is done, I can move on and I'm going to create a little star on the top of my tree. And to do that, I'm going to use a little bit of this gold. I'm going to mix this up a little bit. Now that my star is on there, I can move on and create some Christmas lights. For this, I decided I'm gonna just use some bright white to create my Christmas lights on this. For this one I previously did, I used a lot of different colors on it, which I really like, but I wanted to make a different one, so I decided that I'm just gonna use some white. I'm gonna take some white color and I'm gonna put it right here on my palette. I can come in, take some of that white color, and All right, there we go. We just created 2 ornaments. Simple project for anyone to do at home. All you need is these wood pieces that you can find at any hobby store, or like I said, I got mine at Lowe's, so you can check there. I'll try to find them online and put a link down below for you guys, but these are super cheap, easy to pick up. If you have acrylic paints or any paints around your house and a couple brushes, anyone could do this. Any kid, any adult. It's a perfect project for a holiday. And now we're just ready to put these on our tree. If you followed along with this tutorial and created your own holiday ornaments, I would love to check them out. So you could either shoot me a DM or tag me over at Bolter Design Co. on my Instagram, or you can tell me below in the comments and shoot me an email at hello@bolterdesignco. You could also follow along with more videos like this on my Facebook at Bolter Design Co. And once again, if you'd like to support me by picking up any of my fun prints, you can go over to bolterdesignco.com, where I have a lot more prints and digital downloads where you can check all of my artwork out. Thank you for following along, and I hope to see your artwork soon. Happy holidays.